Hi, second grade. This is Shook again. Grade 2 skills. We're on Unit 3, Lesson 3. Let's get started. Our learning goals for today. Sorting words with the A sound spellings, as well as writing and reading words with the A sound spellings. AI, AY, and A space E. Then reading the next story called And Then There Were Two and answering questions about the story, as well as writing 1- and 2-syllable words with the A, AI, AY, and A space E, as well as the sound spelling sorted into columns. Okay, let's get started. So again, here are the A sound spellings. We have stay and may as AY, claim and rain, AI, cake and name, examples of A space E, and then paper and acorn spelled with an A. Today we're going to look at the A sound spelling. Here's the sound card. As you can see by the power bar, it's kind of in the middle. It's not the most common, but not the least common way to spell the A sound, like in paper. And here's our list of the 3 we've done already, and adding the A. So we have A, AE, AI, and AY. If you have your code chart, you can color these all in green as well. Okay, when you see an A in a word, we know that it might have an A sound, the short A sound, or it might have an A sound, the long A sound. For example, cap has the short A sound, whereas caper has the long A sound. Tack versus taking, wag, wager, back, baker. So these words look very similar on the paper, however, they are pronounced much differently. You will know if it's a long A sound because the word will be a multi-syllable word, meaning it has more than one syllable, like caper, K-per, 2 syllables, whereas cap is just 1. And the A in caper is the end of the first syllable. K ends with an A. So that makes it a long vowel sound. Whereas, again, cap is only 1 syllable, and the sound in that word, at least, is in the middle. Okay, here is some chaining. So chaining is when we have, start with a word, and then we take or replace or add 1 letter at a time to make a new word. So say the words with me. Rain. Adding a B, you get brain. Grain. Gain, so this time we took away the R. Gain. Main. Pain. Paint. Saint. Faint. Okay, and then a whole new chain list, starting with hay. May. Way. May. Lay. Adding the C, now we have clay. Slay. Stay. Sway. Say. Okay. Activity page 3.1. It's a word sort. Sort the words by spelling. So you'll see in the middle of the page, there are 5 columns of words, 25 words total. At the bottom, there's 5 spots to sort them. The first column is the A sound, like in cat. Then we have A like in paper, A space E like in cake, AI like in paid, and AY like in trade. So look at your list. This is very similar to the last sort we had. And you're going to look at the word, how it's spelled and how you pronounce it, and put it in the correct category. Also circling, or making a horseshoe circle, of the letter or letters that make the A or A sound. So like in cat, they circled A is circled in paper, A E is a horseshoe circle in cake, AI in paid, and AY in tray. So go ahead and complete this. The next slide will show all of the answers, so pause here and work on it on your own if you have your activity sheet. So here is the completed list of all of the A words, napkin for example, A words like agent, A space E words like shame, AI words like faint, and AY words like day. Okay, our reading for today, we're still working in our Kids Excel story, reading the next story for the spelling bee. So some of our spelling words, AY like way, AI, we have air, aim, and nailed. A space E, we have face and gave, and our multi-syllable words, Mr., finger, 15, upset, and penicillin. Our vocabulary today. Winced is make a face as if in pain. Slip up, a mistake. And then some of the phrases or sayings we'll read. Fine form, which means peak performance, like top performance, did a great job. Took a shot, which is gave it a try, did your best. A good sport, someone who has manners at a competition. So you're not always going to win, but as long as you have good manners and you are fair. Purpose for reading. We will read the story to better understand the image and caption, Carlos Lopez spelling in the air. So you'll see there's a picture and a caption that says Carlos Lopez spelling in the air. So we're going to find out what that's all about. Okay, so and then there were two. Let's move this up here. Carlos Lopez and Gail Day were the last two spellers in the state spelling bee. Mr. Lopez was spelling like a champ, but Miss Day was in fine form too. Mr. Lopez was given a word to spell. He spelled the word in the air with his finger. Then he spelled it out loud. Miss Day was next. She was given a 15-letter word to spell. She had to stop and think a bit. Then she spelled it without a problem. That's the way it went. Mr. Lopez spelled a word, then Miss Day spelled one. Lopez, Day, back and forth, back and forth. So you see at the top, there's a picture of Carlos Lopez. It's Carlos Lopez spelling in the air, and then Gail Day thinking. Remember, the pictures and the captions help give us more information about the story. The next page. Mr. Lopez went word for word and letter for letter with Miss Day for 10 words until at last he was given the word penicillin. He tugged on his lip and shifted from foot to foot. He stood there thinking. Time went by. At last he took a shot at spelling the word. He spelled it Penicillin. He left out one L. Ding! The bell rang. Mr. Lopez was upset. He clenched his hand and winced. Carlos Lopez's slip-up gave Gail Day a shot at winning the spelling bee. She would have to spell penicillin. Then she would have to spell one last word. Miss Day took aim and spelled Penicillin. No bell rang. The last word was anesthetic. Miss Day stood thinking. Then she spelled it Anesthetic. No bell rang. Miss Gail Day was the winner. Mr. Lopez was the runner-up, just as he was at the last bee. You could see that he was let down by the loss, but he was a good sport. He went up to Miss Day, shook her hand, and gave her a hug. Then Gail Day stood on the edge by herself. They gave her a prize. They gave her a check for $500. She slipped the check in her pocket and held up the prize. She was the queen of the bee. So there's Gail Day holding her flowers and her prize. Okay, now that you finished the story, you can always reread it, and it's encouraged that you do. And also refer to the story when you're answering the questions. Here is the activity page, and then there were two. Which kid misspelled the word penicillin? Which kid spelled the word penicillin without making a mistake? What word did Gail Day spell to win the bee? And what place was Gail Day in the spelling bee? What place was Carlo Lopez? Make sure you're using complete sentences, referring back to the story, and listing the page number. If you don't have the skill sheet, complete Google form, Unit 3, Lesson 3. Great job today. See you tomorrow.